they got us all excited, and then all of a sudden they just, flew by onto the roads and just found the spot here, and it's almost like, okay, we ran too quickly. Just got maybe some brain rush or something like that. Too much blood flowing to their heads after that very quick run that they did, and now they're obviously exhausted again. Oh, it seems like Lauren has managed to find a better view of her cat, so let's head over to see if we can ID who it is.
Okay, let's stick our nose in. Oh no, he's moving again. He is stalking something. Look at that. Look. Looks like he's gonna pounce. Look at all here. It's really tricky to see, but it is. I think we might have been better where we were. Do you want me to reposition, Udi? Oh, the impala running along the damn wall. Look. Okay, they've stopped running, but they were running. I wonder if that's what's attracting his attention. Oh, look, they're all running. Run. Oh, he's up. We're not going to get a visual, but he's chasing something. He's chasing the impala. He's up the top. Oh, and look. No, there's people's heads in the way, but he's chasing those impala. I knew it. He ran all the way up the damn wall. What you gonna do now, boy? They've seen you. Or have they? My goodness, this is really tense. Shasha boy, they saw you. Do you know what I think is going to be nice is if we maybe quickly zip round now and get him on the damn wall. The impala have all ran. He's visible now. What do you think, Owen? Because there is a vehicle here, so let's just quickly zip round and try and get him from the other side. You ready? It's so nice to see a leopard sitting on top of a damn wall. Was very exciting. I knew it. I said to Owen, there's impala running. I knew he was looking at them, but it wasn't successful. You know that phrase, bite off more than you can chew? I think that's what happened there. There's the impala. You were making the great migration, weren't you? And you spotted a leopard. Oh. How terrible. How awful. Is he still there? Okay. Okay, there is another vehicle here, so I'm just going to figure out how I'm going to position. He's mobile. Nope, he's not. I take that back. You gotta love it when animals do that to you. Okay, there we go. Poor Shasha. Oh, okay, that didn't quite go to plan. There we go. It was a very impressive rock climb though, Shasha. It was very impressive. You just didn't quite get what you were after, but that's okay. It happens to the best of us. Oh, the skies are looking heavy. I'm hoping it holds off naturally. Look at your pink nose. It's actually way better for us, for him to be out in the open on the damn wall like this. What you gonna do now, boy? This will happen for leopards all the time. Unsuccessful and failed attempts. That was actually a very special sighting. So we're gonna stay here as long as we can. Let's hope the lightning holds off. Hello. How are you this fine morning? You look very dark, which tells me you're wet. He's just a youngster. Smelling us. Do you smell my coffee with almond milk? Elephants can be very reactive, especially if they've had a rough night. If there's been lots of thunder and lots of lightning and torrential downpours. It can actually be very reactive in the morning because they've had a hard night. We see you. There's a young boy, off he goes. I just wonder if he's not on his own. So because it's so thick, I really can't see anything. So what we're going to do is just drive really slowly and see if we can spot any other big grey bodies. Elephants know you're there long before you know they're there, but you just don't want to drive too close to them, which startles them. But they're not startled because they didn't know you were there. They can hear you coming from long. Yes, there are more. Can you get them from here, Dove? It's not ideal. What a perfect sight time.
you ever seen a hippo's tongue? I've lost my train of thought.
Play.
Yes, I know it was play, but I had a point and I forgot it. I got distracted. I find young hippos so funny. I can see you guys. Yeah, and it's through things like play fighting, for example, for young males and so on. When they play fight, they build up their abilities and how to do it, and all young animals will do it. I mean, you'll see lions doing it, you'll see leopard cubs climbing up trees, you'll see young elephants play fighting or putting up their trunks against one another and trying to push each other out of the way. So there's value in what they're doing, even if to us it doesn't seem like something particularly important, and it's just funny to watch them. They are building the skills that will hopefully help ensure their survival later on. Kevin, you were wondering if the hippos give birth in the water. They do. They give birth in the water, they mate in the water, and they can also nurse their young ones underwater. So they are very well adapted to the semi-aquatic lifestyle, and I say semi-aquatic because they'll spend most of their time in the water. It's the area where they feel safe, but they come out of the water at night to look for food. So they actually need also the land. The ones at the back are playing. This one's on the right. Like big hippos. They're play fighting now. Although there's quite a size difference. I want to say these are probably two young boys. No offense to the young boys out there, but I don't think the females will try to fight that way. Oh, getting serious now. Starting to get a little bit more active, the hippos, now that the sun's going down. Males in general of all the species tend to live slightly less than females, so generally hippos are believed to live until they're about 30 to 35, so the females will probably live a little bit longer, more towards 35 and upwards, and the males more towards 30. The reason for it is the males engage in a lot more fighting and a lot of more defending of territories than the females. The females in general tend to just do their own thing, and they don't spend as much time fighting other creatures of the same species. So the males tend to live slightly less than the females. Same in the case of the hippos. A dominant bull will try to hold on to his power and his territory or his pod for as long as possible without allowing or while fighting off any other potential suitors that might try to take over his pod. The little one going out. Oh, you had us fooled. I thought that you were gonna go out. We just want to see your tiny little legs. That is it. Oh, for such a young creature, it's very agile in the water. Clearly feels comfortable jumping up and down there. Shame she's looking up like, oh, please help me. It's quite a handful, this youngster. Samantha, I think that hippos are fully grown maybe when they're about 6 to 8 years old, depending if it's a male or a female. So they'll be sexually mature before then, and they won't be under the care of the mother at that age. But it takes them quite a while to become adults. So this little one still has got a very long life ahead of it, and a very long time before we can actually call it a fully grown hippo, either a male or a female. Okay. I thought it tried getting on top of the mom's back. Maybe it can't reach. It's jumping or bouncing off the bottom and then just trying to get on top of the mom, but it can't. Oh. Trying a new angle. I think it's definitely trying to convince the mom of something naughty. Maybe it just wants to go on its mom's shoulders and the mother won't let it. Look, it's definitely trying. It really wants to go on top of the mom's back. And the mom's having none of it. Oh, it did it! It did it for a second! Where did you guys disappear onto? I think it's just playing games, just jumping from on top of the mother from one side to the next. It's actually very adorable. Yes! You did it! Yay! At long last! I wonder why it's keeping the nose in there. Oh! Oh! The mom's just like, no, I said no, I will not carry you. But why? Let's see if she stands back up just to make it slip down again. I think she's been carrying it the whole day and she just doesn't feel like it anymore. Are you gonna try again? Maybe it needs to come running. Two youngsters at the back are back at it, like fully grown hippos with big tusks. It's so hard to choose where to watch because as the ones are fighting in the back, then the little one is just like almost like doing hoops and loops to get on top of the mother. That's very funny. Almost look like a dolphin there, just trying to stick its head out of the water. It's almost like they've got the zoomies now. They're going into the crazy hour, you know, that I don't know if parents call it suicide hour, but it's that hour before, you know, when they get hyperactive just before they have to have dinner or go to sleep or something like that, and then they just go a little bit crazy. They start running around and doing all sorts of things. What a handful. Flipper. Yeah, maybe we should call it Flipper, Darren. You're right. Why are you yawning, ma'am? Evelyn, you say you want to eat whatever this hippo has. Well, whatever it is, it will certainly make you hyper. I thought for a second there when she opened its mouth that it was maybe going to try and jump on her mouth. That would have been quite funny, to be honest. It must also be very slippery to try and get on top of the mother, because they are also slippery themselves. And with all that water, I don't think it's not attempting to do the easiest of things. I see we call a group of hippos a pod or a raft. Oh, I think Mom's decided they're going. I wonder if she's gonna come onto the island. Kind of nudging it in that direction. It's shallower there, as you can see, because you can see more of the hippo than of the little one, but I'm not sure what her plans are right now. Maybe she's just like, fine, we'll play around here for a little bit, you're being a handful, or maybe this is a timeout area, I'm not sure yet.
This is a lovely little pan, actually. I just want to take a look at it. It's a pan that I often forget about. It's very close to the Mowati as well, which makes it quite accessible for animals. But if you look, there's quite a film of algae. And algae blooms for lots of reasons, probably lots of nutrients in there from animals defecating. Elephants, rhinos, hyenas pump sort of extra nutrients into the water, and it's very stagnant. Other than the rains last night, there's sort of no inflow, no outflow. It's just a really stagnant water body. And once the oxygen gets removed, well, it looks like this. I'm just going to sit for a moment or two, as there's some wonderful sounds around us right now. Isn't it lovely to just stop for a moment? We've done a lot of driving. It was nice just to take a break.
For our rumble in the jungle, the battle royale ended rather abruptly, with the two original hosts disappearing with the interloper now inside their home. So we decided to move on from the domestic dispute. A very interesting arthropod. There's going to be plenty of them this morning. I hope you're ready for creepy crawlies. This is a zebra millipede. And I think you'll understand quite easily why it's called that. Hi everyone, my name is Mike Anderson, behind the camera is Craig, and we are here once again at Eco-Training's Pride Lands Conservancy, where after a very heavy rainstorm last night and lots of thunder, it was an awesome display of nature's firepower. It was consistently powerful for about an hour, which was incredible. And that kind of rainstorm and this nice warm, humid weather is what is bringing all these insects out. Now they realize that summer has started, the wet, the rain, lots of soft food, soft dead vegetation. So this millipede that we see here, very, very defensive, but I think it will uncurl itself soon. Here we go. It's just started to very slowly uncurl. This millipede is a herbivore, and in fact most often termed a detritivore, feeding on dead plant material. So especially after the rain here, the dead plant material is nice and soft. Oh, look at it. Here it uncurls. Beautiful colors. So it curls up like that to defend its very sensitive legs. So it's got hundreds of legs. I think it's probably got hundreds of legs. Oh, look at that. Straight as it uncurls, straight onto a nice soft impala dung pellet. Had a little nibble. No, that one was not tasty. Just going to keep moving. Look at those beautiful colors. So it curls up to protect its legs from damage from predators, which is assumed we were. And now as it moves, it has other types of defense as well. It can actually secrete toxic substance. Oh, look, it's defecating. That's interesting. Look at the back of its body. Just opens this very mechanical-looking flap and then drops a tiny little pellet. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. So they can secrete a toxic substance from between the segments on their body, which is one defense. It can also turn upside down and move very much like a snake. And I think I've heard that called swearing. I mean, by doing that, by turning upside down and moving like a snake, a small predator might be surprised and think, oh, it's not what I thought it was. Or it's even possible that it could shake off any small insect predators like assassin bugs by doing that. Perhaps give itself just a few moments to escape towards a thick bundle of grass like this one is doing now. Oh, touched something that did not like. The ferret, that is easy to find out. I've never measured my hands before, but this one is about as long as from the end of my index finger to the corner of my thumb. So that long. That is how long this millipede is. So what is that? Maybe 15 centimeters? No, a little bit. Around about 15 centimeters, maybe a bit less. Very, very nervous millipede, though. It's probably the first day that it's gone out since the last season. I don't think they live particularly long, but this one is quite large. I think it's probably more than one season old. And so it's very cautious about how it moves. You can see see that? We weren't even anywhere near it, and it just touched something that it didn't recognize or didn't like, and it immediately curled up into a ball to protect itself. It's amazing how quick that is. There are many things that feed on this, from assassin bugs, like I mentioned, that will pierce through the segments on its body with these little stabbing mouth parts, to things like civets. Civets will also consume millipedes, actually lots of them. They seem unaffected by the toxins in the millipede's body, those cyanide-based secretions that I spoke about earlier that they can secrete from between the segments. And I've also heard hornbills use these millipedes. They collect them and they actually disturb them and press them all around their nests, and they secrete this toxin, which then gets rid of any parasites from the nesting sites that the hornbills like to use. That's quite clever. You ever heard of a bird using an insect repellent? I don't think it's very pleasant for the millipede, unfortunately. I think it possibly even dies in the process, but nature is nature. and that is incredible.
I don't know if this is also Ngwazi, Hart, and Gingarika again, the same four from yesterday, which is fascinating. Look at the tails. Look at all the tails. What are they doing? I truly wanted to see some of the Jumuk pants. Oh, yes! I haven't had a good look. It's definitely Corks, definitely Gingarika. Wow. Getting my binos out. I think that's hard. She's also got a fair bit of blood on her. Okay. Corks has got that tail up. Let's just... No, we're gonna stay here. This is fascinating, everyone. I'm just watching. These are the sightings that you need to be able to understand what's going on. Corky's elbow is quite bad, her left elbow. Yes, Renee, they absolutely do. This one's also injured. Renee, I'm going to come back to your question. I'm just very fascinated by what's going on here. The one at the front. Now, who are you? You got blood on you. I've got Gingarika, Hart, and Corks. And I will answer your question, Renee. This is just... observations like this are really what we've been waiting for. Hart and Cork seem to be buddy-buddy right now. The tails generally mean dominance. They're up. Aggression, something's going on. When a hyena puts its tail up like that, erect, like what Corks has had hers up like, it means business. So I'm sure you can all see that Corks is absolutely fine. She's fine. She definitely is injured. Hart's also got blood on her head. What have you guys been doing? Look at Hart and Corky like this. Are you guys BFFs now? I'm gonna pop out of here. No, they're not. Okay, I'm gonna go forward one. This is just utterly fascinating. We just happen to be in the right place at the right time here. And we're just at Twin Dams, the twin of Twin Dams. could be an intruder around, an intruder hyena. Look at this. Incredible. Okay, I'm gonna run around because I want to know what's going on. I know you're listening to the audio, but they're talking to you, Julie. This is incredible. This is the sighting we've been waiting for. What is going on with the Juma clan? Is anything going on? Have they had an altercation with other hyenas? Now we're at Twin Dams. We're very, very close to the den.
Not in a rush. Okay, copy. Playful, vehicle coming.
So much action here, everyone.
How long has it been since Ribbon initially took the matriarch role?
Ribbon took over in 2019 November.
So 2 years.
Or was it 2020? It was 19. So she's been the matriarch for 2 years, guys. Something is really going on. Now, Gingarika's come right next to the car. She almost ran to the car to lie here. Look at this. Scratching her head. It's almost as if she feels a little bit of comfort in the car. And I can't explain what's happening here. Corky's up to no good. They've all got blood on their face. All of them. Even Intima. Sorry, Owen, I'm putting... Let's just look at Intima's ears here, because I don't think it's blood from a kill. They've either all had some sort of altercation with other hyenas, or there's a massive internal dispute going on. And when I saw them yesterday, I didn't want to think that. I didn't want to think there was anything going on, but Intima is not acting like Intima, everybody. We have just been sitting here watching Corks dominate Intima. How can that be? Oh, Corks, you're not looking so bonny. You're not a bonny wee lass anymore. Oh, okay, this is going to be interesting. Let's watch. Corky's acting very dominant, guys. That tail has barely been down. And Angela, I'm really not sure. I don't want to speculate at this stage, but I do feel something has happened. Yesterday, I thought it was an internal dispute over possibly food. I mean, they were all just sleeping at Twin Dams, but no. This behavior, I don't quite know what to think. And Tima's got blood, Corky's got blood, Heart's also got blood, and Heart doesn't seem to be bothering about anything, really. She's just gone to sleep next to Gingy. But Intima's the one that what is going on, girl? She looks skinny. I think she may have lost in Tambu, everyone. But we don't know that yet. We don't know that. I'm really quite shocked by this sighting, everyone. I think Julie is as well. I really can't believe what is actually going on. This is all stemming from Corky. Corks, are you causing trouble, girl? I was there for the matriarchal takeover. It happened in camp. Did you know that, Julie?
No, I did not.
It happened meters from my bedroom, and we were all in bed. I've never seen so many colleagues of mine in their pajamas and their underpants run out because it sounded like someone was being murdered. And it was the most horrible night in camp. Owen, were you there?
Yeah.
You were there. Everyone came down. James Henry's in his underpants. Everyone's in their pajamas. Jamie Patterson in her pajamas. And we really thought that someone was being murdered.
Yeah.
And no one died that night. Or no hyena went missing that night, should I say. So it wasn't a case of someone being... It was noises like that, but screaming. Lots of blood. So many hyenas running around camp in the dark. We couldn't see. It was intense. She's coming. Corks, girl. Corks, tell me what's going on. I mean, these injuries on the face, they'll heal. Her elbow's not looking great, but Corks has had an injury on her elbow, I think, that keeps... opening up, but it's in Tima, and Tima's acting very, very submissive.
I hope you better approach. You can take
Momo, I'm really not sure. I would like to think not, but naturally there was, I believe, a situation at Pridelands, and it all depends on the situation. It all depends on people's behaviour and how they are actually, not people's, individuals' behaviour and how they are acting to whatever is going on. It also depends on what happens to Ribbon. I'm not saying anything has happened to Ribbon, everyone. I really don't want to speculate. I want to go back on this footage and really if you slow-mo, you can really look at who's dominant at that moment. I mean, I think it's clear that Corky is dominating in Tima for some reason. So my question now is Ribbon. We've seen June. June is chill. June's been sunbathing and going to the spa every single day. So what's happened with Ribbon? I haven't seen her in a few days. And for her cubs at this stage, Momo, I don't know. But I've not seen Corky act like this since 2018, 2019. I love Corks, and she's had it tough. And this is the anniversary, just I think 2 days ago, of Darkmane attacking her. 3 years. She's not had it easy. She's an absolute survivor. And the thing with the hyenas, I love them all. Ribbon and Tima, Heart, June, Corks, love them all. I couldn't possibly ever sort of choose between them, but they've got to settle their disputes, I guess. And something is going on. I've never seen Tima act this submissive in a while. Her mum's a matriarch, after all. Corky just won't settle. Heart's gone to sleep, Gingy's gone to sleep, and Tima's also resting. But Corky just, okay. Now we're gonna settle. So she's chosen to settle over here, OD, next to Heart and Gingy. And that's interesting. And Tima's on her own. But they're still together, if that makes sense. So if a Pride of Lions were to come, they would form a unit together. They're a clan. They would, fight off the lions together. But between these individuals, you've got a close relationship here between Heart and Corky forming, or has already been formed. And Gingy's obviously going to be with her mum, and then you've got Tima on her own here that screams every time Corky comes near. Everyone's got blood, and it doesn't look like blood from a kill. Oh, I can't wait to hear what you all think of this, especially you, Michael Fleetwood, and you, Chris Rogue. Can't wait to hear your interpretations. But I think at this stage, let's not try to speculate too much. Let's try to observe. I've been seeing June a lot with Sutu and Novella. So what is going on with Ribbon? Victor, very intense. Actually, the vocalizations from Tima were slightly horrifying.
They were. It made me feel
uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. She was scared.
She was scared.
Yes.
And this is the thing. We always get asked, would a hyena kill another hyena? They are the clan, but they've got to establish they've got to sort it out between themselves. And Corky here, she's not hurting Nsele, but she's acting dominant over Nsele, and Nsele's bowing down at this stage. If Nsele was to challenge her, then a fight may happen, and it could get really aggressive. It could sort of result in death. But we get asked this question a lot, and I think it's quite fascinating that as long as everyone just adheres to what's going on, sticks to their rank. But Corks, you're looking you're looking haggard, is what we would say in Scotland. I don't don't know if that is a word used elsewhere, but we would say haggard. And isn't it amazing? I brought my Juma clan family tree with me today. I've been forgetting it. And they're just lying on Gowrie Main. I mean, we're on Gowrie Main right now, which is obviously not ideal in terms of traffic. Vehicles are going to come by, you guys. I know many of you love hyenas. I do speak to Chris and Michael a lot about hyenas, but I know many of you love them. And I think at this stage we'll just have to... But we did watch Ribbon assert herself over June the other day at the den. I think that was a handful of days ago. Ribbon was in the dentrance, the huge, and June came. There seems to be a nice bond between them right now, Ribbon and June stood over her to initiate a greeting ceremony, but Ribbon 100% asserted herself over June, and that was just a handful of days ago. Hearts just chilled. I wonder what's going on. I wonder what's happening at the Ribbons at the den. And oh. But please don't worry, everyone. We will figure it out. It sometimes takes time, and we will get to the bottom of it. It takes a lot of observations, and that's why sometimes you just have to sit. You just have to watch. Otherwise...
Okay, so I think what we might do, there's a little darter that just popped up in front of the hippo. They're just looking for fish. I must say, you can always stop at a watering hole and there will be something to look at, something to entertain you. What a tough bird to follow, hey Odie? The darter. You just never know where it's gonna pop up. It's quite lovely. I went on a boat cruise about a week ago on the Blighted Dam and saw African finfoot. What a special bird to see. Oh, it's lovely to sit here, get this bit of a breeze and just listen to all the bird calls around you. No, it's been a quiet morning, but it has been quite a peaceful morning. We nearly had a leopard. But there's still lots of time. So many bird calls. See, is that hippo? Let me just check through binoculars if the eyes were actually closed. So yeah, they would have been out all night feeding. You can see those eyes are drooping a little bit every now and then. There we go. Closed and falling asleep. This is actually quite nice about the design about a hippo, or of a hippo. It's just all senses are above water while the body is below water. Now the male has popped up its head. You can just see the head a lot wider than the female that we were actually focused on. I'd say quite a rhythmical sound there when they come up and they breathe out like quite nice. But I think they'll just spend the entire day here staying away from the sunlight.
We have literally just bumped into some ellies tearing apart the tree. But this is actually a good thing. The hyenas are somewhere here. So maybe between all of us we can listen, we can hear the Ellie. But if we can pick up on some poops or contact calls, that's going to be such a winner for us right now. I'm not off-roading after highly mobile hyenas in the dark. The little ones. Oh. To say hello. Hello. Good afternoon everyone. You will see that we are back out and about, and you will also see blue skies. It's amazing. The sun is shining. We do have our rain roof on just because we don't really trust the weather right now, but we're out. And my name is Lauren, and I do have Owen on camera this afternoon. Now we're not stopping, you may notice. Normally we would stop, but I just want to keep going. We're already, an hour behind schedule? And all the vehicles are moving and updates are coming in. So I just want to keep going and get somewhere before we actually stop. We're on a safari after all. But now that we're no longer on Jam Cam, this is live and interactive, as you know. So please do talk to us. It's really important that you do. Nobody really wants a quiet safari. So send in your comments and questions using the hashtag WildEarth on Twitter. Or if you're under 18, you can send in your questions via email. And the email address is kidsquestions@wildearth.tv. You can also just head over to the website, the WildEarth website. That's where we show the show now. And as long as you've registered, you can watch it there and submit your questions. There you go. All done. Now I'm hearing talk of Tortoise Pan, who I've never met by the way, and Cara, but I don't honestly know what the actual update is. Sometimes updates come through rather gibberish, shall we say, and I don't really know what's happening, but Tortoise Pan apparently crossed into the property this morning, and because I've never seen him before, I'm going to try and see if he will allow me to meet him. I might get very shy actually, but we'll try. And this morning was such a wonderful sighting with Tlalamba. Really, it was absolutely amazing and really, really special. But that area where the kill was with the hyenas is now on a negative log still. The vehicles don't need to be there. I don't think Tlalamba will be there or Cub, but still that area is just on a negative log until it all dies down, carcass is gone, and hyenas have gone. So I'm going to head in the opposite direction now. I'm going west. Well, as I bumble on, I do believe Mr. Rowan has already gotten lucky.
Good afternoon everyone. So yeah, we're actually on quarantine just right outside camp, and it's a fairly large herd of elephants just making their way through the clearing. It's weird, at one stage they were walking east and now it's like they've changed the direction completely and they are coming back towards us. It's quite nice. There are quite a number of youngsters out there. So yeah, this afternoon you are with me, Rowan. I'll be your guide, and behind the camera we've got Darby, and we are sitting on quarantine with quite a number of elephants, lots of impalas, and then the wildebeest we've been looking for a while as well. So I think we might actually spend a bit of time here to see what the elephants get up to. It looks like they are coming closer and closer and closer to us. Should be quite nice. It's funny, we had this enormous thunderstorm that passed over us, circled back, passed over us again, and now it's almost like the entire Juma is in sunshine, but we are just surrounded by cloud cover. Actually, it looks rather pretty, I'll be very honest. So of course it's very nice for them because there's a lot of moisture on the grass again. So they could just eat and eat and eat and get moisture from it as well. But it is heating up quite a fair bit. can see one of the babies in the picture. The mom is just not too far from it, just to the left. Actually moving towards her. There we go, mom's in view now. Shreya, absolutely wonderful to see some sunshine, but I must say also wonderful to see some rain. We're always thankful for the rain out here. Just if you remember the 2016-2017 droughts, I don't want to see that again. That was absolutely horrific. So yeah, now you know what I'm talking about. Massive herd of impala, big herd of elephant, and then a lone wildebeest. He's just on the other side of the road. Seems like I'm mostly now moving towards the right. Even the mother and the baby that was behind, so slowly following. What we might do in a little while is, actually no, the next road is still quite a while, but we'll follow them for a while, just see what they get up to, where they're going. My plan for the afternoon was actually to go back towards Chitwa Dam and see if we can find another herd of elephants there, see what's around, see what the hippos are up to, maybe bird for a little while, and then come back onto Djuma. So not really spend too much time on Chitwa, just a little bit, just along the dam wall again, and then back. Shame that baby's nursing. Of course, even though it gets moisture from the grass, it still wants milk from the mom as well. Good nutrition. Mom's got the trunk up, smelling what's around, actually facing towards us, so it's a bit of a breeze coming from behind us and just almost waving our scent straight towards her. But of course we mean no threat. To give an idea, we are probably parked about 100 meters away from this mom and baby. Seems the baby's in quite a playful mood, running right underneath the mother's trunk. Maybe I just wanted some shade. I actually wish they were closer to the impala, and I can imagine this baby elephant would start chasing it. Chasing the impala, chasing the wildebeest. Of course, they are born with the impression that we are the biggest animals out here. And so they practice that from a fairly young age. See how many things are scared of them. Highly entertaining animals. Yeah, Mac, I'm with you there. It nearly disappears in the grass as well. Very, very, very tiny, especially compared to the mother. Although it looks like it has quite a grip on the use of the trunk. That's what elephant herds are all about. It's just learning and protecting the youngsters. I can't see a pair of tusks just peeking out yet. So maybe just underneath or under 2 years old, this little baby. Might even be picking up marula fruits there. We were driving in a portion of Djuma this morning, and I noticed they still got marula fruits on the ground. That's maybe quite nice. It doesn't really look like the mother is. Let me pick up binoculars and have a quick look. Also got a patch of grass on her back. That seems to be a thing in Djuma. No, she is eating grass. King, have you ever had a marula fruit? I think if ever you taste a marula fruit, you would understand why elephants like it. Even human beings like it. Baboons love it. Vervet monkeys love it. It's just a good tasting fruit. It's like, why do people like mango or pawpaw or bananas? It's nice. Good for the fruit though. It needs to go through the digestive system of an elephant. Oh, there's a big female to the left. Sorry, we are focused on her. Quite tall compared to the one that was underneath the marula fruit. Rather thick tusks as well. Especially the right-hand tusk. She looks like she might be pregnant. Unless it's a very small youngster, which I haven't seen yet, just behind the termite mound. Is there?
No.
No, she's pregnant. You can actually see the bulge clearly now from this side. 22 months. That's a rather long time. So of course they live up to sometimes 60 years depending on the food they eat. I can imagine an elephant could potentially have 10 or so youngsters throughout a lifetime. That's a lot. It's a long time to be pregnant. So yeah, let's sit here for a little while, see. Some of the elephants are now approaching from the right, so we'll spend a bit more time here.
We're still on our bumble. We had a little hiccup with our roof there. So I just want to continue driving for now to see if we can search the area. Why? Well, there's talk of a leopard here. There's actually talk of two. And the fact that it's been raining and now it's dry means that animals will be getting mobile, especially mammals and birds. They're going to shake all the sort of wetness off and they're going to want to get on their way. Sorry, I just saw a lot of...
To your southern side of you.
Copy, I see the tracks. Can I make my way? Okay, looks like the leopard's already been found. I don't know which one. Crikey. Yeah, I've got the vehicle. Okay, we're heading into a sighting. I see spots. I think it's Cara. I don't think it's tortoise pan. Looks like a female to me. That's a female. When can you work with this? I always forget when I've got my roof on. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Not bad, a leopard for the afternoon. Isn't she beautiful? A young leopardess called Cara. Well, we got there in the end. I'm pretty sure it's Cara. I think this is who we've ended up with, but I would like a good look at that face. Cara's got a really obvious slice in her ear. But it's a very small, petite little leopard. Is that you, Cara Bara? I can just imagine feeling the sun after that rain. Must feel so good to hear the birds sing again and know that the thunder and lightning is over. I'm pretty sure it's Cara. I love Cara, but she's a bit of a fighter, like a mama. Always getting into fights, aren't you, girl? And now you're eating grass. We have a vegan leopard, everybody. A lot of animals eat grass, in all seriousness. My dog used to do it, and it's sort of a natural laxative. So if there's anything a bit nasty in the old tummy, it just sort of, well, you know what a laxative does. I don't need to tell you. You should just watch her for a while. I did not get that. Maybe one more time, Nadine. Good eye. Good eye, everyone. I'm not sure I get that. Maybe my director can help me out here. Kara, what are you doing? It's so nice to see Kara. Kara is the daughter of the legend that is Hukamore, and the daughter of Shudulu, Duchess of the West. And I guess I like spending time with her because she's turned into an absolute fine leopardess. She's so feisty, and I guess she's a little part of Hook. And she's actually always found in his sort of area. She doesn't really go as far down south as Zoe's road, but she's always found on Votella Access, Impala Plains, near the gate, just south of Sydney's Dam, for any of you guys that know their property. And that's exactly where we used to find Hook. The last person to see Hook was actually myself, and it was just below Sydney's Dam. And after that, he wandered into the Mangaleti, unfortunately, and that's exactly where you find Kara. There's something really nice about that. Oh, we're really loving the grass. Delish. Lyra, you're asking what is the actual color of a leopard's skin? What an interesting question. I do believe it is just a normal sort of skinny color, if that makes any sort of sense. A skin color, you know what I mean? Obviously, there's lots of different skin tones in the human realm. But as far as I know, I've seen lots of vets do work on them. It's just a normal sort of beigey, pinky skin color. Where did she go? Behind the vehicle. Typical. Okay, I think if we reverse a little bit, we'll get a better view of her. I did not expect to come out after that storm and have a leopard, that's for sure. You know, I've got my first 3 days here. I've had fantastic hyena sightings with no leopard, and all of a sudden they all come out, just like buses. Okay, I can see her. She's marching south. I hope this block stays nice and open, because in summer following leopards through the block is really, really tricky and slightly dangerous actually. Hectic, they call it. Hectic. This is not Cara? Okay. I knew that was going to happen. James Richard, you're saying it's not Cara. Okay. Nsele. Nsele has not been on Juma for a very long time. It shows you how much I've been paying attention. It's been called in as Cara. Can you see where she went, Odie? Nsele. I have not seen that leopard in a long time. So that means Cara, Tortoise Pan, and Nsele have all been called in on the western sector of Juma. I'm a bit suspicious about that. I mean, the western sector is good, but it's not that good. I really didn't see where she went. I've been focusing so hard on the road. Okay, FC, we will need just a little bit of time to navigate here. She's behind us. We're just going to loop around. Okay, we're just going to reposition here, and now I'm going to take a better look at this leopard, but we're going to send you across to Rowan with his elephants.
So we're just reversing quick because this herd of elephants now have chosen a direction and heading quite steadily that way. They've split up into 2 groups, bizarrely, and we are following the larger group. So seem to be about 15 or even more of them. So actually what we'll do is just wait on the road and wait for them to come to us. So I don't really want to park on their path. So I'll try to find exactly where they're going through and just wait. Yeah, this should be it. Okay, so it seems like Lauren has found a leopard again. So Darby and I are just going to sit here and watch the elephants cross while we send you back to Lauren.
James Richard, of course you're right. And you know, that's funny because on arrival I noticed the ears and they're very tattered, and Sally is obviously a much older leopardess and easy to look at when you see her face. But naturally I saw those ears and I thought, oh. I've been rambling on and I don't actually know where you lost me, so apologies. I'll just wait for my director to let me know at what point we got up to, and then I'll continue. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I'll start over. For those of you that haven't met Nsele, I think there may be some of you that actually haven't. During lockdown, she's a lockdown baby. When we first got traverse of a baby for us, when we first got traverse of Simbambili, that's when we got to meet her as WildEarth. And she stayed in the north, but she's actually really a much older leopardess. She was born in early 2009. So that really makes her 13? Yes, 13. So much older leopardess, and her mother was Salayesh, and she's quite a famous, iconic leopardess from the west. So Nsele here, obviously easy to identify really when you get to look at that face. She's always had a missing eye. My director said, oh, it looks like she's got a sore eye. Yes, that eye's been gone a long time. And the west was just obviously too much for her. It was pressure. And she just moved this way and decided to settle. So that's a little background on Nsele. And obviously she is slightly hindered by her eye. Instead of having binocular vision, she's really only got sort of one functioning eye. It really doesn't set her back in any way, shape or form. Just like most animals in the animal kingdom, they just adapt. And she's still a fine huntress. I believe that she did have cubs recently. Or was rumored to. And she was also seen mating with one of my favorite male leopards, Klangula. So I think it is believed that the cubs were his. But unfortunately, it's also believed that he didn't make it. I don't know. I could be a little bit wrong on that one. It's not a leopardess that we see too often. Hyena. Swazi. That's why she's up. It's Swaz. Hey, my boy. Oh, goodness, Owen. The camera just made a funny jump there. Oh, that's fine. Steady's up. Swazi can smell her. I don't think he can see her yet. They follow leopards, and Swazi's here. He's going to come out just here. No, that's right, one. That's right. Just there. You've got his head. Yeah. Nope, to the right. Maybe Nsele has been seen recently on WildEarth. I don't know. I could be out the loop, but I'm really, really happy she's back in town. The hyenas just follow the scent of a leopard. I wonder what it smells like to them. I'd love to know what a leopard smells like to them. And then they arrive, and then of course, there's no kill. I may as well just move on. I was hoping for a free meal, but sadly, there was not one, so I'm just going to move on. That's pretty much how it works. So Swazi has been walking in the area, got wind of her, came to investigate, and it's really not that exciting, is it? For Swazi, at least. Laura, you're saying what a refreshing sighting for the new year. I know, a leopardess that I have not seen in a while. We really hoped she would sort of settle. I'm not saying become territorial, but settle a little bit in Juma, and she really didn't. She went into Bufosuk, and naturally our signal got a bit strained there, and then we don't traverse her anymore. But she stayed up there, unfortunately. And she was always on the sort of more central part of Bufosuk, which is above our Bufosuk Dam. So although it's on the eastern side of Juma, Bufosuk actually extends way further east than that to the Kruger boundary. So she was always found sort of a little bit east for us. So considering where we are right now, which is not too far away from Gowrie Gate on Buotella access, she's actually quite far west. I know that might not make sense for all of you, but my maps have also disappeared in the time that I've been gone. So as soon as I relocate them, we'll get back on to mapping things out. I wonder where she'll go. I have a funny feeling she might cross back into Stampambili. I'm very happy dearest Swazi rocked up, but we are going to sit here with Nsele a little bit longer.
Just cruising around, all the elephants crossed and went to quite dense vegetation. So now we're in an area called Impala Plains. Having a look around here. I think maybe late this morning there was a leopard here called TP, or tortoise pan. So apparently he doesn't spend too much time on Juma, he's mostly off the property, but when he does come in, he comes into this sort of area. What's not promising about this is that there are 2 female kudus right in front of us. I'm sure if there was a leopard in the area, they would alert us to his presence. No fresh tracks either. Now you scan the tree line, check the branches. Can't see any tails hanging down. Sorry, Baba. Lots of energy after the rain. What you're also looking for is if he's lying down in the long grass, you know, he might be irritated by flies or something like that. So every now and then, just shake up the tail to shoo them away. So literally any movement. So far, nothing. And now we are coming to the end of Impala Plains. I take it as the clearing ends here. Maybe we're lucky this time and he walked a little bit further into Juma. But I think let's continue around along this road and just keep checking other areas. See what else we can find.
She isn't doing much, I'm afraid, and we actually haven't got a very good look at her face. I don't know whether to maybe move around a bit. What do you think, Owen? Or stick it out?
Stick it out.
She still has a lovely back of the head. But look at those ears, in all seriousness, they're like candies, they're so tattered. I'm hitting myself for thinking those ears when I first looked at her back of her head were Cara's. Sometimes when the sighting is really peaceful like this, I always want to put my engine on, but it would be nice to see her face. And I love that through her imperfections, she's fierce. She's such a survivor. And with regards to her eye, I believe, James Richard, you actually know what happened, but I did hear two stories. I did hear porcupine quill, and then I also heard claw, a leopard claw. But in all the time that I've known Nsele, she's looked like this. Ah, there we go. We didn't need to move at all. And for an animal to go nomadic, that's what Tingana decided to do. And I understand we don't know Tingana's whereabouts, and there's a big question mark over that one. I'm aware of that, but they must reach an age when the pressure just gets too much. And when I say pressure, I mean pressure from your neighbors, from your competitors, where they're maybe stronger than you, they're maybe bigger than you, and they're pushing your territorial boundaries. And possibly there was a lot of interactions, maybe leopards fighting, and she obviously just decided to go under the radar. It's risky. It's a risky decision, but it's also one that allows them to save remarkable amounts of energy and just operate under the radar. Now, she will urinate and she will defecate, so her scent will be out there, but she isn't intentionally scent marking an area or actively defending it. And that's what having a territory is all about. Actively defending your territory, your piece of land. Social dominance. Selfish behavior. I love how a leopard just comes along and says, hey, this is mine. This area is mine. Bob? No, not at all. You've got to remember, we're on the very, very western corner here. I'm sorry, I really don't know what happened to my map. It's been a tricky return, this one, but I'm not able to show you my phone either. I do apologize. When I locate the map, I'll use it. But we're in the very, very northwestern tip of the reserve, very close to Gowrie Gate, if you like. And Kalamba doesn't come this far west, really. You'd be pushed to find Kalamba further west of Zoe's. I mean, you might, but you'd be pushed. This is very far west because this is normally Shadulu's territory. This is Shadulu's land, if you think about it, and Kara's, which is why she probably got called in as Kara. Obviously, people didn't see her eye. So no, not a threat at all. You've got to remember that the leopards are constantly moving in between each other, ebbing and weaving and flowing into one another's territories. So no, she's not a threat. Kalamba is currently, well, she's with her cubs, I would imagine, in the very northeastern sector of the reserve, which is very far from here. So in answer to your question, no. Any female leopard is a threat, but right now Nsele is not. And female leopards will kill another female leopard's cubs. We've seen it here, absolutely. Moya killed one of Shadulu's cubs. Kara's litter maid, I believe. Yes, Kara's litter maid, who I originally thought this was. But right now, no. We're more in Shadulu's territory than we are in Tlalambas. I think we will try and move a bit. Let's try and move on. Yes, James Richard, thank you. It was a claw. That's right. I'm sure he messaged me about that a long time ago. A claw from mating. Ouchie. Ouchie, ouchie. She can't have had a good time there, I would imagine. But Jess, thank you. I knew it was either a porcupine or a claw. So right up here, Owen, if you could possibly just show the horizon where that big marula is. That marula's where I had Shadulu the last time, by the way. But by and by, that's Triple M. That's our western boundary, right there. So she's very, very close to the western boundary, which means I think we may lose her. So let's keep up with her for now. Always nervous to turn Wendy on. Opa's not here, which is devastating, but we will try and get her looked at tomorrow. For those of you who don't know, Opa is just an absolute hero. He fixes everything. No, he fixes all our cars. I think he knows these landies better than the landies know the landies. Nice. Yeah, there's Triple M. That's how close we were to Triple M. And to be honest, as soon as she crosses, that's Simbambili. I wonder if their senses become so heightened in summer because they're still trying to listen always, but there are so many other sounds, birds constantly, so many new smells, so many new chemicals. Hi! Nice to see you too. And I wonder if their senses are just completely heightened on every level, almost like electrified, because summer just brings about an entire different realm, a different dimension. I'm just speculating. Okay, she's heading south on Triple M. That's a cut line. Marcy, it's not over yet, but it most likely will be very soon. And you're right, it was really good seeing her. I'm so surprised. I know one of you will be able to answer this question. When was the last time we saw her on WildEarth? I know one of you will have the answer to that. We used to have a big data spreadsheet of all the sightings and when each sighting happened, where it happened, who it happened with. But I know one of you will be able to answer that. Okay, I think I'm just going to follow because this sighting could get a little bit hectic. I've never used that word in my life before until I came to South Africa. But everything is hectic. Oh, she's going down. Why is she going down? Have you got a view, Odie? Oh, standoff with Swazi. I don't think, oh my god, that's... Oh, and that's the worst positioning in the world. I'm so sorry. Oh, Lauren, what are you thinking? You got it. I don't know if it's Swaz, I'm guessing, because he was just there a little while ago. Now that was a polecat. If you've never seen a polecat, I just showed you one. Yes, you're welcome. Oh, you weren't happy, girl, were you? I wouldn't be either. And now you're quite settled on Triple M. It's a boundary line. Anyone could drive up here. I'm just letting Fanazi pass to give him the views. And then we'll also reposition. Logan, yes, I also wonder what they are thinking. I wonder that all the time about animals. What are they thinking? If only we could tap into it better than we can. We always try to project what they're thinking, but how on earth do we actually know what they're thinking? I think Nsele was feeling rather negative towards Swazi. And I think Swazi was probably feeling quite positive towards Nsele. She's such a gorgeous leopardess. Look at that nose. She's still retained that super, super pink nose. We normally lose that as they get older, but she hasn't, and it just gives her a real cute appearance. Lisa, you're saying hyenas always want, well, they always look like they want to make friends. I'm sure they do. Having a leopard friend is not a bad idea. You get half the meal. It's not a bad idea at all. And you know, they're so familiar with each other. I remember I used to get questions, what will happen? They honestly will not. They are so familiar with each other's presence in this environment. Hyenas are forever following leopards. Leopards are forever chasing away hyenas. It's just how it goes out here. Okay, we're going to lose sight. A bit of a traffic jam. We'll just stand by until we see what the other vehicles are doing. She's still marching down Triple M. We are going to follow once Fanazi is out of our way. We're going to see if we can keep up with her. Thank you you, Fanotti. You're the best. No.
Okay, maybe I'm gonna go
Oh, okay. Where?
at Weaver's Nest, close to Garden.
Okay, I'll tell my colleague.
What?
Okay, cool. Thank you, Fanotti. Here we go. FC, if you could just tell Rowan to get on his game drive radio, there is another leopard somewhere near Weaver's Nest. So if he just gets on the game drive radio, get the info. I don't have it, I'm afraid. I've been live. I don't know who it is either. Oh, and can you work with a front-on view? This rain roof gets me every time. 2 leopards in one drive. Now that is special. She smells another leopard here. I wonder if it's the TP. But in all seriousness, leopards do live in a chemical world. They live in a world that we can't even possibly begin to imagine. They're not visual. They don't rely on audio. They're not so tactile. They rely on chemicals. They rely on scent. That's how they communicate. That's how they tell other leopards what's going on. That's how they become territorial. That's the essence of being a leopard. That's what she's doing. She's understanding something here. She's interpreting. She's smelling, stroke, tasting. Okay, according to FC, I didn't realize you guys still recorded that. That's very cool. The last time WildEarth saw Nsele was with Trushala in December 2020. Wow, that is quite some time ago. That's what I was thinking, but I just didn't know if I'd missed something along the way. Wow. So delighted that she has graced us with her presence. Oh, no, don't go that way. No. Oh, Swaz, right next to the car. Give me a heart attack. Swazi. I just heard these really heavy footsteps. He's looking for her. She can see him. Oh, the hyena leopard saga never ends. When you hear heavy footsteps like that next to your car, it gives you a fright. Okay, we've got a view of her. We'll stay exactly where we are. I didn't get that comment from Lisa. Did you get it, Owen? skinny mini needs a meal. I think. I don't know if you mean Swazi or Nsele there, but yes, I guess both do. That's exactly why Swazi's hanging around. He's already halfway down Triple M. Honestly, hyenas walk far and wide. They really do. Look. That's why we don't track them. I'm really glad I'm getting to spend time with the leopards and understand where they're moving now. I'm intrigued to know who it is on Weaver's Nest. And I'm intrigued to know if Kara and TP really are on Juma. I'll get there. But for now, we are going to continue sitting here with our sulky Susie. We're just sitting here with our leopard who's having a rest. Tucked herself into the grass. It's so lovely just sitting here. It's cooler, it's not so hot, the birds are calling. So we're just going to sit here for a moment or two and appreciate the sounds of the bush. Isn't it so peaceful just sitting here with a leopard watching them rest before they get up and start their evening?
Okay, so there were reports of another leopard on Juma at Weaver's Nest, and we actually drove the first part of Weaver's Nest, but then the leopard crossed out. So we have decided to just continue in our little bundle and maybe even make our way to where Talamba was seen this morning. So we're not off-roading in that area. It is quite a sensitive area with carcass, with cubs, with hyenas. But we'll just drive the roads around there and see if anything's changed, see if she's come out, if she's taken the cubs away. Especially, you know, if they lost the carcass, I can't imagine why she would stay there with two of her youngsters. So let's go have a look in that area. Other than that, not much has happened with Darby and I. we are just taking a chill drive. Also just enjoying the cool breeze. You can imagine it's probably about 20 degrees now, maybe 19. It is just very, very, very pleasant. Also quite happy the rain has stopped. Apparently, well, according to the app, it was only supposed to be heavy rain tonight. So I wonder if that's still coming. I must say, even if you look around the bush, it does seem like it has come down quite hard. Very pretty little riverbeds in this area. So this is where we were yesterday with the monkeys up at Leopard. The little vervet monkeys. So I asked Darby earlier if these vehicles ever get stuck. He said it's really not easy to get one of them stuck, so now we're going to have to try our best to do that as well. We still need to find a wildebeest for Darby to film as well. Notice earlier when I said there were elephants, an impala and a wildebeest, he filmed the impala and the elephant, but not the wildebeest. But yeah, it was a really large herd of elephants, so stick to the content. Saying that, this is not a good area for wildebeest, it's way too thick. It's so shaky on these bumpy roads. It's actually quite nice. I feel my livers and my kidneys shifting. Peppermint, first thing you should actually do is just stop driving or stop trying to force it out, because technically what you end up doing is just digging a deeper and deeper and deeper hole. And this is what often happens when people get stuck, is they'll go forward a little bit, try reverse, go forward a little bit, try reverse, and then your tire ends up being that deep under the ground. So yeah, you know, get out, see which tire is stuck, see how deep the hole is, then decide whether you need to jack it out or just jack it up, place a few rocks or some wood or anything below the tire, because technically what happens is your tires can't grip. So now you need to find something that your tire can grip on, which is usually not too hard, although I have to say, if we got stuck here, it might be a bit of a schlep because there are no rocks at all. But you could just venture around, find dead pieces of wood, something like that. So it usually helps just to jack it up, or you could even dig yourself out. You know, if you see that the hole you've created is literally just the shape of your tire, it might be a good idea to try dig backwards, so from behind your tire a little bit further, and yeah, just get rid of that hump that is stopping your vehicle from moving. I went to Magubas Kloof about, what was it, a week and a half ago, and yeah, we got absolutely drenched. We slept in a tent and then got stuck the one morning, and that took about half an hour to get out. That was fun. Luckily we had planks nearby, so I didn't even jack it up. I just put the planks in between the back wheel and the front wheel, and we managed to drive off. Doesn't sound like it took half an hour, but I promise it took half an hour. And even though, I mean, we don't really allow guests to get stuck or to help us out when we do get stuck, just because, especially when you are working with a high lift jack, you know, there's always something could go wrong. If you don't put a rock behind your front wheel and the vehicle shifts in the front, the high lift jack could move or just fall on a guest and serious injuries. But guests love getting involved. They want to get their hands dirty, help with the jack, help change a tire, do this, do that. So yeah, quite a fun experience. Arctic Circle, you asking what is my best season to do game drives? I would say autumn or spring. Springtime for photography because it is just absolutely gorgeous, and then autumn because the bush isn't as thick, there's no rain, less mosquitoes, well actually zero mosquitoes, and then less flies. A lot easier to find animals since the bush isn't as thick. So that's what keeps going through my mind every time we turn a corner and I think, oh, we might see a leopard here or there. Just if it's lying down in this grass, you're just not going to see it. So we need to find one walking, which is what we're hoping for now, going into that area where Columbo was this morning. It's amazing, that leopard that Lauren was with now. If you think they haven't seen it since December 2020, that is just absolutely crazy. Anyway, speaking of it, we're going to send you back over there just for a quick update from Lauren.
We left the sighting, I'm afraid. It got rather congested. Boundary line sightings, cut line sightings are always a nightmare. They're what we call a grey area because really it's no man's land. It's not on a property and it makes it very difficult to control. I'm on the northern channel and I can't control the western channel, for example. So it becomes rather chaotic. So we decided to leave. It was wonderful. It was such a good sighting and it was so nice to see her. So I am just going to slowly bumble in the area they said TP was and then make my way to the hyena den. But I'm going to go via the Philemon's dip dens, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, then the old hyena dens. There's a trio and they all lie in a line, 1, 2, 3. And the hyenas, the Juma clan, have used them all. I'm just going to go via that way in case there's any activity. You never know. That's how you find dens and you get to know where animals are and where they like to stash their cubs by just continually checking them on the off chance. That's how I found Ribbon's first litter with Ngwazi. Well, no, it wasn't her first, but her litter with Ngwazi and Shimbulu. Really suspected she was pregnant and I just kept checking. And there was a lot of days of very boring drives, actually, to be honest. I'm sure some of you were thinking, oh, how many more termite mounds can Lauren look at? But we got there. We checked and one day she was just there and we saw the cubs. So sometimes you've got to go off the beaten track a little bit and that's how you find these sightings. TP, are you here? This boy cannot keep avoiding me. I'll keep trying for him, that's for sure. I have a list of all the leopards that I've ever met here, and I really want to put him on it. But I can't until I meet him, and I've not met him yet. Okay, I'm just going to keep bumbling, stick to the plan that I just shared with you, and hopefully at some point I'll get lucky.
So we're not too far from that area now. Yeah, just past 2 roads called Nsele North and Nsele South. This is information I get from Darby. Don't think I know the road names by now. But yeah, we're gonna start slowing down and actually just having a good look around the area. It's also entirely possible she just took them straight back to the den after losing the carcass this morning. My heart goes out to leopards that lose their kills to hyenas. But that's just nature. That's what happens. They do have the ability to hoist a carcass. Just sometimes I think they're a little bit too tired to do it. I'm just checking very, very carefully wherever we drive for any type of movement that might give her away. Yeah, it would have made life a little bit easier if she hoisted the carcass and we knew exactly where to find her this afternoon. But I think even with the leopards on Ngala, a lot of the times the females would hoist a carcass, go back, fetch the youngsters, and then take them to the carcass. And that was actually, it's quite funny and interesting to track them, because you would waste your time if you tried to track the youngsters. Sorry, there's a little leveret, scrub hair baby, just ran off the road in front of us. Oh, there we go, it's back in the road. But you would actually waste your time trying to track one of the youngsters, because what they do, they know their mom comes and fetches them for food. So they'll run ahead of the mother and they'll go check a tree where they think it might be. Then they come back, go back to the mom, irritate her for a little while, then run to another tree where they think it might be and come back. And they keep doing that over and over and over again. So, of the 3 leopards, try your best to just track the mom rather than follow the baby tracks. It is hard work for the mothers as well, because even having young leopards on a carcass, they don't really know how to balance a carcass in a tree, so they don't know if I eat more of this part, the carcass is going to drop there. They haven't learned that behavior yet. So often what they do is they drop the carcasses, and you can imagine how tiring it is for a mother leopard to hoist a carcass, sometimes up to 5 or 6 times. I saw a video the other day of a female that hoisted a carcass and the baby was eating on it, and the female came down the tree, she was grooming herself just below the tree, and boom, next moment the impala carcass actually just dropped right next to her. Luckily not on top of her, but she got the fright of her life. I think she probably jumped about 1.5 meters into the air. I would have giggled so hard if I had to watch it live. Buttercup, is there any evidence of wild cats adopting an abandoned cub? I think actually they would. Well, I think more so with lions, because they are social cats. So, I'm going to use an example of the Birmingham Pride. We had one female give birth to 2 youngsters end of last year. No, sorry, not the end of last year, that's it's like 4 days ago. Anyway, the one with the newest cubs. She had 2 cubs, and we were following them for probably 2 to 3 months. And then the one day drove out, and lo and behold, she had 4 cubs, so 2 new ones. And we think what happened was that she actually adopted youngsters similar age to her own from the Birmingham Breakaway Pride, which technically is extended family. So I can imagine it does happen in the wild. It happens with feral cats, so why not wild cats? Yeah, nice sunset once again. See, quite a moody sky. Though the clouds have lifted, they're not as heavy as they were a little bit earlier. Arctic Circle is your favorite sunset, the African sunset. So it sounds like Lauren's also bumbling. Let's check quickly where she's bumbling around, what she might be looking for.
I'm still sticking to my original plan, but we've actually taken a really nice route through the reserve that I've just realized I haven't done since coming back. And the sun's going down. Obviously we came out a little bit later today, so we're getting that sort of just touch of golden on the landscape, and it is nothing short of delicious. Really, that golden light when it touches the summer grass, perfection. In winter it can make everything look a bit sort of sickly orange and yellow because the grass is dead, but in summer, my goodness. So we'll very shortly be at the old Hyena Danes, and I don't know if there'll be any activity. We'll check as en route to the other one. And to be honest, confirmation bias, I would actually like Ribbon to move Danes. It's a great den, it's great, and there's been a lot of action at that den, but it's just far. I'm being lazy. Which is really terrible actually, but I think I just have so much affection for those old dens, the Philemon's dip dens. And we're not going to be able to do so much insecting after the rains. That's not going to be so easy. I can't believe how blue the skies are. Owen, I think you were right. Owen wanted to take the rain roof off, and we wanted to play it safe, but Owen was right.
Valentino, you're asking, Ribbon. Sorry, I got confused there. I thought you were maybe talking about Kalamba. Would she move the cubs to another den? Was that the question? Yes, of course. Absolutely. 100% she would. And it is really, I mean, she's been at that den for quite some time now. She was at that den when I was there about 7 weeks ago. So yes, I can only imagine that it's time for a den change, especially with the rains, wet, damp, parasite build-up, smelly, unhygienic. Absolutely should move them. 100%. I'm not saying that she has moved, it's just I've been there quite a few days now and there's been no activity at all. So I'm just wondering if it's worth just checking other areas. But yes, absolutely she would move them. And as they get older and bigger, they need more room, they tend to head to other dens. But I just wonder if she'll maybe show sort of an attachment for the dens that she used last year. Creatures of habit, they all are, including ourselves. No sign of TP. I'm not quite sure where that information came from. This is a bumpy road, but Rebecca's road is actually a really good road to drive. I've had quite excellent sightings on this road. And it takes you directly into Texan's Road, which is the Hyena Den road. It really is lovely. It runs right along the drainage on the southern side of Quarantine. The drainage that I have been stuck in many times. I've been rescued from this drainage many a time. It's really not something to be proud of, but it's doable in certain sections, so you can just cut across and get to Quarantine or Philemon's Dip, but you've got to be careful exactly what sections you choose. I clearly chose the wrong ones. I don't know how many times Tristan's rescued me. Oh, and do you remember that time we were following the Nkohumas for the SABC show? And it was dark. You and I. Anyway, we were doing a TV show for SABC and we're following the lions, and of course we're really into it. They were hunting, it was exciting, pitch black, and an hour later we realized, oh, the show's over.
I don't know where we are.
And we don't know where we are. We have no idea. It's pitch black. We're in the middle of a thick bush. Oh, and Tristan and Darby were the other feet, and I remember that because I did not want to call them. I did not want to give either of them the pleasure of having to come and get us. So I remember them asking, "Are you guys okay? Where are you guys?" I said, "We're fine, we're fine." And remember, we used the lights. We used the light of camp. Very far away from camp, but we knew that's Juma. Bless me, sorry. And we thought, okay, we're going to try and get out of this block. And I remember that there is no light. It is pitch black. You have your headlamp, but I mean, that's it. And I think it was summer. It was thick. And we decided to somehow get out of the block by navigating using the lights of Juma. But we did it. Yes, that was funny. It wasn't funny at the time, though.
Stuck with a drainage line on one side, and then just like impenetrable bush.
I don't know if you can hear Owen, but he's saying there was a crazy drainage on one side and an impenetrable bush on the other side. So yeah, I think what we're trying to say is we were really stuck. But I still didn't give Tristan or Davy the pleasure. Nope. Okay, this is Hyena Den number 1. I haven't exactly gone round to the entrance, but I mean, take a look at that. I don't even think any of you will actually recognize it. Oh, that's Hyena Den number 1. So overgrown. This is Corky when Corky was in her prime. This is a den she used, and then it was used with ribbon. I don't think anybody's using that one. Let's keep on moving. I keep ruining all of Owen's shot because I keep forgetting about the rainbow one. Oh. Sorry. It's because it's sunny and I'm getting confused. Anyway. So you guys, some of you will know this route very well, and you will know that within about 30 seconds we arrive at the second den, which was Ribbon's den. This was Ribbon's birthing den. We call this a natal den for Ngwazi and Shambulu, and it's my favorite one. I love the access to it. I love the appearance of it. I love the memories that I've had here, the hours that I've spent here. Oops. You can smell something a bit predatorish. I wonder if something... no, that's completely overgrown. Look at that. This is Philemon's Den 2. Lots of memories here. But if you look at that entrance, which is right here, I'm pointing it out because it doesn't even look like a entrance. It's completely overgrown. Nope, nobody's using this one. And many of you know within another 30 seconds we'll be den number 3. So we may as well try and do it. I'm not intentionally trying to take a trip down memory lane. I am just checking. I mean, this is an incredible sort of 2-track that takes you right into the thicket. And it's just always worth a look. You might even find a leopard or anything here. I can see why you wanted the roof off one. Actually, we'll go to the entrance. There was 2 entrances here. Hyena boy, yes, I think me too. I agree with you. Philemon's Den 2, the one I just showed you, will always be Ribbon's Den. And I agree. So that was Ribbon's natal den, and this is the communal den under Ribbon's reign. So when she was still matriarch, this was Philemon's den. I always say Philemon's dip den, but yeah, that's a mouthful. Number 3. And again, look at the entrance. Really overgrown. No one's using it. But this is where they all brought the cubs. This is where we had June bring Novella, Corky bring Braveheart, Heart bring Gingerika and Pumela, and Tima bring Ntambu. All here. Oh, I'm feeling very nostalgic now. That's okay. At least we have got a den of sorts. Okay, OD, now we are going to try and check back at the current den. I think it's safe to say no one's using these things. I had Shadulu stalk the cubs here. Shadulu came by and she was stalking all the little cubs that were out of the den with no adults. Anyway, I agree with you. Den number 2 will always be Ribbon's den for me. Okay, now we really are going to bumble and actually try to find an active den.
So we are circling where Tlalamba was. We saw the 2-track, the off-road track, coming in this direction, but it seems to be a rather large block that we are just going around. And so far we haven't seen any tracks coming out or anything, but what we might do is just sit and listen for a while. And while we have such a beautiful skyline, might just focus you on that. You can get my roof in there as well. Yeah, I'd like to be safe than sorry, especially with a thunderstorm like that one that just came over a little bit earlier. All I want is for some impalas to start snorting or kudu start barking. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe I wanted too much. And tomorrow morning we'll just go look for impala rather than leopard. Lauren seems to be doing just fine. Not that it's a competition, although it's definitely not a competition anymore. Oh, but what a beautiful skyline here. Okay. Sorry, Darby. No sounds. Get all rusty going. At least tonight I'll know where Rusty's lights are. That's rather exciting as well. The area where Tlalamba was this morning. Maybe then we head towards Buffelshoek Dam and then do another bigger loop onto Triple M, see if that other leopard has maybe crossed back in. There's been nothing over the radio of it crossing back in towards Juma, but you never know. Got a message that leopards fall out of the trees here today, and I think we've just been around the wrong trees. Might have a very quick Bilaka, I don't know, I've never met Darkmane before, so I don't really know his position. Is he part of the Telematis? Is he the... No, so I'm not going to lie to you, I don't know. I have no idea where Darkmane is. We have a viewer called Darkmane. He'll probably be able to tell you. We are looking for Tlalamba. We might have a slight signal dip here, just while we go through this little dip, but it shouldn't last too long. Should we check this way? Okay. Should check this way?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's drive this section. It is honestly the coolest thing to drive riverbeds. It's all high expectations. I'll be sitting a slight bit higher than I am, so on our left it raises up. You'll be able to see in there. I'll keep an eye on the right. Okay, so we'll bumble along the riverbed. And it seems like Lauren is still bumbling around, so let's see what she's up to.
I'm almost at the current Hyena den. Almost. I haven't stopped driving. I've literally gone from the west side of the property to the east. It's small, but it's not, if that makes sense. It's actually a really nice sized property. Okay, fingers crossed, everyone. It's been a few days. This den, is really accessible. It is actually a lovely den. She chose well. Please be there, Ribbon. Okay, we can't stay, but we can give you a little glimpse of the naughtiness. Okay, at least we know they're here. Where's your mama? Where is she? I also don't know. I'm sorry, but we have to go, guys. Yes. Oh, okay, Odie. Oh, as tempted as I am, let's keep on moving. At least we know they're okay, they're alive, they're well. Mama's coming soon. Okay. They're still using this den. Ruben very often just sleeps here. That's one of her sleeping spots. I think she's at a kill. Somewhere. I know the Inkahumas are on vessels. On a kill. And some of them, I believe, are on Torchwood, if that's correct. I think Ribbon's on a kill, or waiting at a kill, sorry. This is another one of our sleeping spots. She's not here. She normally sleeps here. Benson, if only they recognize my voice. They're very inquisitive though. They're at the stage where they greet the vehicles. Hyena cubs do that. They get to a stage where they just come and greet you. And to be honest, they probably are old enough now to view without mum. I mean, with leopard cubs, they normally sort of make it over 12 weeks. If you do come across them, you can view them without mum on some properties. But here we'll just not jeopardize them, not stay at the den. But that's good news. And that's the life on Feast and Famine, guys, for the predators. Sometimes food is there, sometimes it's not. And they learn that lesson very, very young. When mom's there, it's great. When she's not there, they have to wait. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Okay, Lauren, focus on the task in hand. Let's find some more animals. We got off to a good start. I need to bring it back. I wish I knew who that leopard was that crossed in at Weaver's Nest. Could be Shasha, could be Sibui, could even be Langa. Chris Rogue, lovely to hear from you. Another hyena fan. No, I haven't. I have not. I wonder if you're thinking what I'm thinking about potential other babies. I am wondering about Corks. I've not seen her though, and I am wondering about Intima. But we can. The little Gary Den's just here, and I know that Polly will get Polly's blessing to just dip our nose in and have a little look. Very good shout, Chris Rogue. Let's do it. I mean, it's not just here, but it's very close. Sometimes you just get whiff of awful smells. I've probably driven through things. Okay, we do have a big bird for you, but I will never be able to identify it without my binos. So I'm just going to position for Owen. How's that? And then let's take a look before we go to Little Gary Den. Wahlbergs, I think. The pale morph. I wonder if that's the Wahlbergs from the female from the Wahlbergs pair that nest in the Mowatu. Very possibly. The insects are starting to chirp. The geese are not happy. Okay, we're going to sit here for a moment or two, and then I will check the Little Gary Den. Very dramatic, and there's a Wahlbergs perched in the tree. So we're just going to sit here and really appreciate this moment for a minute or two. Isn't it so beautiful? Could literally sit here forever.
Just quickly inspecting some scat on the road. Rather fresh, say, in between this morning game drive and this afternoon game drive. But it's nearly impossible to see a track here. Even me walking on the road barely makes a track. So I think what we'll continue doing is just driving slowly along. Try to miss the scat though, because that on your tire is demons for days, just follows you everywhere. Not the most pleasant scent. Mind you, I didn't stick my finger into it. Took a little bit of blade of grass. So let's carry on. Maybe we get lucky. So we've nearly done the full loop. Then yeah, if we can't find anything here today, there's always tomorrow. And then we might actually go back towards the boundary, check if that other leopard has crossed back in. I think she might have been lost on the other side of Triple M. Young Kop, your bird species are very, very important when it comes to insect control. Mostly out here, civets would eat millipedes. There's a lot of insectivorous, or kind of everything will actually eat anything that's out here if they can. Just know that your birds are mostly the biggest eater of insects. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on looking at tracks and then tell the story, and clearly it's not really going too well. But mind you, after rain like today, it's just nothing that control the insects. There are flies everywhere. Every single time Darby and I stop, there are just flies on top of us. And then they bite every now and then as well. So yeah, often you see these forked-out drongos, Bishop starlings, the hornbills, everything just flying up, catching insects. That's actually one thing I haven't seen here, weirdly enough, is a nightjar. And so those are mostly, whenever we drive back at night with the spotlight on, you see them sitting on the road, also catching insects. I just haven't seen any of them. Glad Lauren found the active hyena den now, so she knows exactly where to go to. Some very good news. Seems that they've got about 6 or 7 dens that they move around. Also another thing I've not seen yet is hyena, even though their tracks are literally everywhere. Maybe my eyesight has gone down since I've left Ngala. Who knows? That is the thing though, like your eyes need to adjust back to the bush. Now if you spend every single day out here, you pick up on very quick movements that usually people don't really pick up on. I mean, Darby spotted a branch earlier, so we reversed and actually zoomed in, and both of us almost thought it was a leopard, and it was a very, very, very good spot. Sadly, it wasn't a leopard, it was a branch, but it was still a very good spot on a branch. go right. Cleo, it's a question I often ask myself. What on earth does a mosquito and a fly do? I know they work in shifts. So a fly will take the 7 a.m. to about the 6 p.m. shift, and the mosquito will go 6 p.m. till 7 a.m. And they have this great function of just being an irritation. But of course, mosquitoes kill the most humans in the world per year through malaria. So they do carry disease with them as well, which would be population control. All jokes aside. Luckily at Juma I've got a very, very, very strong ceiling fan. So yeah, I've not been bitten by a mosquito yet. I do have a few tick bites though, and it's not like I've been walking around a lot, but every now and then when you venture into the grass, there's just ticks everywhere, especially along your sock line. Okay, so Lauren made her way to another hyena den, so we're going to send you over there and see what's up.
The little Gowrie den is freshly dug, that's for sure. Now, I'm not going to stay here too long. I'm definitely going to get in touch with Polly and just find out, but it's definitely freshly dug. There's something in here. Now, I do remember a sighting I had with June. I came here because we got permission to come here. And June came, she went to call out Novella, and out came warthogs. Ugh, never forget that setting. So it might not be hyenas. I don't see anything obvious of any species, but this is quite promising. I just wonder if maybe someone is using it. But I think we'll speak to Polly and get people to keep an eye on it. I just wanted to show, and that's for you, Chris Rogue. But I think we will pull out now. We have a very good relationship with little Gowrie. It's really, really special. It isn't technically one of the properties that we traverse on. But we all help each other out. It's a big thing in the guiding community to build relationships and talk to people. It's one of the things that I miss when I go, my friends out here. But this is interesting. That was a really good shout, Chris Rogue, because I'm not entirely sure I would have checked this. And it just looks, there's also very fresh vehicle tracks coming in here. And I mean very fresh. And that's also got me a little bit suspicious. Not everyone calls in hyenas. But I wonder if someone saw something and came into this side. Okay. But that's us back on Gowrie Main, and that's how close the den is to Gowrie Main. It's not far. So I saw something behind. Okay, where to now? Let's see where the wind takes us. When I first arrived here, I always used to make a plan. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And then the plan always changes. So now I just go with the flow. Okay, we're going to keep bumbling and see what we can find along the way. And I believe Rowan and Darby are admiring the sunset.
We've actually just found a beautiful spot to appreciate the sunset. So it's just starting to pop out now. And notice from this stage onwards how quickly it drops. You have to love that. Such a peaceful scene. It's also astounding. I mean, you can see the shadow of the mountain there, and it's amazing how far it looks from here. And it's really not that far. You say about 80 kilometers? So the mountain looks small from here. Sam, what a perfect way to end the day. You have to appreciate moments like these. Also, again, it serves two functions. I mean, while we're sitting here, you're also just listening to the bush. And should anything start alarm calling, we know exactly where to go. So while we are chilling, we are still working. Just so you know.
Audio from Gala to the west of your dance. We assume it's the S8. Was a group or assume it's the S8 and those 3 females.
It's quite interesting listening to the radio here as well, because it's all names. So whoever's talking now is saying Audio Vingala, assume it's the S8 male. Somewhere on your dance, I have no idea where that is, but I've seen the S8 male. I've heard stories about the S8 male. I didn't see him in person though. I only saw photos of him. Beautiful, beautiful big male lion. Especially, I mean, he's coming into an area where there are coalitions of lions, and he's coming in by himself. So well done to that boy. It's just another perk of being in a different area on another property is you get to hear and hopefully someday see things that you've heard so much about. Like the elusive Tlalamba. I think let's sit here for a while. It's appreciated. I actually just wanted to start touching the top of the mountain and then we'll carry on. It's funny, the one bird you hear calling above all others is actually a bird called starling. And with them, even on the hottest part of the day, they still call. It's actually just getting prettier and prettier. I thought I heard something else now, but it doesn't come a second time. So yeah, we've got one more road to check for Tlalamba, and then we'll actually move out of the area. Try again some other time. I've had it happen before though, where you sit facing forward and then on the next moment whatever animal you're actually looking for just comes from behind and walks straight past your vehicle. It doesn't happen often. It's happened to me twice. It's rather funny. start giggling about it. What has happened before though is where we stopped in an area, followed tracks of say brown lions, and you end up tracking, and you don't find them, but the next moment on the radio some of your guests will call you and say, "Oh, Ryan, there's a lion," and they actually scream on the radio, channel 1, and then get back to lodge. All the rangers make fun of not really you, but the guests that were screaming on the radio, because they freak out. They think everything out here wants to eat them, which is not the case, which is why after 9 years I'm still alive, still in the bush. Yes, that sun dipped quickly. That is just absolutely stunning, isn't it? What, that was in the space of about 5 minutes. One thing about an African sunset, it happens quickly. Roaming Rhino is suggesting that Davy and I have a beer now. That is what I understood about that comment. I agree with you 100%. Sad thing about that is we did not pack any beers, but it would be a great time for sundowner. Hopefully majority of you are having a drink in front of the screen and enjoying this with us. So even now when the sun disappears, that sky's just going to get more and more dramatic. As the colors will change, go from pink to orange, or actually probably go from orange to pink, a little bit of yellow. Okay, so everyone that had a drink in their hand, please down it. The sun is now gone. And we're moving on. Rusty's even adding to the sunset here. Thank you very much for sitting through it with me. It's, I'm looking for leopards so much that you need to just appreciate every aspect of nature out here, especially something like that. Really just wonderful to enjoy that moment with you as well. We had tracks of 2 hyenas there coming this way. I can imagine that carcass would be long gone, and they've probably moved out there, and maybe they're heading towards where Lauren is. That'd be quite fun. Roaming Rhino, I'm very sorry. You're right. At my age, I should know by now. Tomorrow, we'll pack a whole 6 packs each. Although tomorrow I'm with Odie. Oh, he'll pack. Don't even stress about Odie. I remember at Ngala when we had him for the first time. He used to just feed us snacks. It was actually quite a bit of a pleasure. Sorry, Darby, false alarm. The So one morning would be eat some s'mores, the next morning would be these Kellogg's breakfast bars, and then Mari biscuits, and then rusks. Always had coffee, with way too much sugar. Sorry, Odie, for giving away your trade secrets. But yeah, apparently now he's on 1 cup of coffee a day. The rest of the time, tea. But he'll pack beers. I'll tell him that Roaming Rhino, one of the WildEarth viewers, insisted you pack beers for us tomorrow. Oh, Lauren found a leopard. We're sending you there.
Panthera pardus of today, and this one is Mr. Maribs stalking something as the sun goes down. Ah, look at that, Owen. Davy and I will also have sundowners. How's that, Owen? I'm only teasing. We've had a really lucky day. We were literally just driving past Chitwa after Ngwazi. We were following Ngwazi, and he was running, and we heard on the radio right outside of Chitwa that Maribs is here. So I'm really happy to know that he's back on Chitwa. Hello, handsome. Joey's looking big. That is no small cat. I don't quite know what he's watching. There are lots of impala around though. Wowza. I don't think they see him. But the grass on Chitwa Open is remarkably short. So he's gonna have to really keep himself hidden.
Who was the last station with Marisa? Responding now, so I could hold up.
I don't know if he really has got bigger, or I've just not seen him in a while. Nadia, I really do. It's been 4 leopards today. Tlalamba, Cabo, 2 cups, 5. Nsele and Maribs. I have definitely had a lucky day, but it's not always like that. The other day was very quiet. I don't think I found anything else other than Egyptian geese. But that's how it works. When it rains, it pours. And I have struggled. I found it really difficult coming back this time, actually. I felt like I was away for a really, really long time. And thanks to Boris Johnson, I'm back. And I'm happy to be back. And I feel a little bit, it's taken me a few days to really get back into the rhythm of it. Of course, I know where the hyena den is, but I've just found it difficult to think, where is everything else? I really didn't know, and I still am putting the pieces together. But I have to say, it's really, really wonderful to know that he's on Chitwa and not Torchwood. No offense to Torchwood, we just can't traverse there. But we can traverse Chitwa. I want to edge around to see his face, but I also don't want to block his view of whatever he's looking at. Oh, there we go. Well, that vehicle did that for me. Oops-a-daisy. Anyway, he should always be considered, he's not quite hunting, but he was definitely showing interest in something. When we first saw him, he was doing the leopard crawl. And you just got to be cautious not to block his view. He's probably hungry. I think Middeeps is always hungry. Just like me. Shreyas, you're asking, did you get that one?
This is flesh wound healed.
Fresh wound. Flesh wound. I don't know if I'm missing something. I think AFC are forgetting I've been away for a really long time. I'm not aware of any wound. Not that I remember. Or maybe FC can update me. Okay, sorry, Shreyas. Who is that? Okay. Okay. We may have to leave this sighting very soon. But yes, I'm not actually sure what flesh wound you're referring to. Just give me 2 minutes, Sape. 2 minutes. And the snake wound, the snake bite is definitely healed. He was absolutely fine if that's what you're referring to, but I'm not sure if maybe he's been injured in the time that I've been away. But I think we may have to pull out soon, everybody. At least we got to see him. Right, Odie?
Cool.
And off he goes anyway, just like that. Okay, FC, we are going to pull out of that sighting. And as we do that, we're going to send you guys across to Rowan. Oh, it's up there. Dude, another leopard.
We're on our last little sit and wait session. We on a road now, right next to where Kalamba's den is. She's just waiting to see if we can hear anything. In the distance there's a southern white-faced owl calling. They're gorgeous birds. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful eyes. I think from here we might just loop past Buffelshoek Dam. See what's going on there. Okay, we're sending you back to Lauren because some interesting things are happening there.
5.
Just come over in the AdPod.
I'm coming over to you.
We have got an incredible sighting here. The lions have appeared at a leopard sighting, and the leopard hasn't seen them. This is 2 sightings meeting in the middle. He's on our right-hand side, the lions are on the left. I don't know which pride this is, I have no context. Inkahumas or Talamatis? Okay. He hasn't seen them. I don't know who to look at, the leopard or the lions. This is tense. We're right in the middle of two sightings colliding. Can you believe it?
That's Torchlight.
Go back to Marib's. Marib's is here. I think he spotted them. The Torchwood Pride have arrived. We've got two sightings colliding in one. The Torchwood Pride have arrived on Chitwa. Oh, yeah, he's aware something's wrong. Marib's my boy. Please don't try and be brave here. We're going to show you the lines in just a moment. They're kind of in the middle of lots of cars. And now the impala, I've seen the lions. I've not seen my reeves, I've seen the lions. Can you hear the impala? Now my reeves knows something's really wrong. Odie, let's see if we can show the lions have gone behind this vehicle now, and it's a Torchwood Pride. I haven't seen them in yonkies over this side. It's all happening on Chitwa. They're not looking at my reeves, they're looking ahead at the impala. I don't know what would complete this drive now. Sorry about the vehicle traffic. It's two sightings have
Update so far.
collided, which makes it a little bit tricky. Wow. That is some angry impala. Maribs is still there, he's not actually moved. Oh. He's popped his head right up now, and I have a funny feeling our spotted cat's gonna make a dash for us soon. I actually hope he does. I don't know where to look. I remember Brent Leo Smith once saying, I've got my head on a swivel. And I literally feel like that. Right, left, right, left. My goodness. I have a funny feeling if this was Tandy, she would be off by now. It looks like his mom like that. I really don't think they would harm him. They would give him a chase. He's got his little Yoda ears on. I'm just letting you guys listen because the birds, the kingfishers are going, the impalas are alarming, the insects are starting to chirp. There's so much happening in this one space. I'm just letting you listen. I actually thought we were being told to leave the sighting earlier, but he was trying to tell me that there was another sighting coming. There's lions, and I got that all wrong. Oh, he's laughing at me. I didn't realize it was a lion sighting. Should we do a swivel? Are you doing a swivel, OD? Okay, swivel, swivel. sorry everyone about that. You are back with us, or you're back with Malibs. And he's chilled. He's super chilled. In fact, could not be even any more chilled if he tried. And the lions are still there, but they're really far into the distance now. They're walking along, they're walking south on Chitwa airstrip, and the infrared most likely won't reach that far. And they're walking away from him. He did the right thing. He stayed completely still. And Shreya, you did reach out to me. I'm sorry. Apparently, Mareeves had a wound when he was spotted with Chauncey, and unfortunately, I was not here then. But I mean, he looks absolutely fine. But once we do get a better look at him, maybe in daylight again, we can inspect him and see if he's okay. Wow, what a day, actually. Maybe you're my lucky charm, Owen. Linda, indeed. It's been an amazing drive from start to finish. As sad as I was, we didn't get to see Kara. I was also over the moon that it was Nsele, because I have not seen that female in a really long time. So nice to have her on Juma. I think FC did give me the wrong date. I do remember Steve was with Nsele and Klankula mating, I think around February. And I think Nsele was maybe seen one more time again after that in April. But still, she's not a regular. Oh, the IR is playing up again. How wonderful. Mareeves, you are aware the lions are still there, boy. An entire pride of them. Excuse our rain roof pose.
Here we go. Hold with him. How much? I've got Lanka, yeah. You see where I'm trying. Copy on a computer.
Okay, I'm gonna see where Mareeves is going to update the radio, and you guys are gonna head over to Rowan.
So I think my plan for tomorrow now is just to follow Lauren around. That should work wonders. I'm trying to keep the brights on, you know, with Rusty, it doesn't stay in place, so I have to actually keep my finger there. We are on our way to Biffle's Hook cut line on a road called Hyena Road, which I'm told is not the best road, so that's why I took it. And yeah, see what happens from there. It'll be interesting later when I switch the spotlight on, because I have to hold the brights there and steer and spotlight. So I might hit a few trees. We had a Hyena Road on Ngala as well, mostly on the eastern parts. It was quite interesting because, so every time someone goes out on drive, they go, "Good afternoon stations, can I get a route and sightings update?" And then it takes a while, and then a ranger would respond, "Go from your side," which is usually from the north, Safari Lodge. They'd go, "There is a Combreta Hyena, Opi Caracal, Opi Pangolin, Opi Skankan, and this and that and that and that." So then if you're not on your vehicle or your radio's too loud, people just hear hyena and they hear pangolin, and those that speak a little bit of Shankan, they'll hear skankan. So they think, "Oh, Rowan, we have to go, there's a pangolin, someone saw a pangolin." Sorry about that, there's no pangolin, it is just a route name. It's always quite interesting. Funny though, it's happened too often. So I think I might do, because my multitasking isn't really that great, I'm gonna leave the brights, find the spotlight. It's dark enough now, I can't really see too much other than the road. I can't really even see the road. That's because the grass is just too long. Switch this little thing on and start looking for eyes and the road. This is as far as my multitasking goes. So also when you start driving at night, especially sitting at this height, you just keep going through spiderweb, so like every 2 minutes you have to almost wipe your face. But obviously, yeah, good source of protein. He says it was quite tasty. So there's another thing that flies are good for. Hopefully it wasn't one of those carrion flies. If you can hear anything. And frogs. Mostly just foam nest frogs calling around us. We had one in the kitchen today. Completely white. It's often what happens on a hot day is they'll go completely white just to reflect more light than absorb it. Makes sense.
Excuse me. Sorry, that was very well timed. Anyway, Mareeb's moved into really thick bush and it's night time. We're not going to bundabash off after him. We've also got a roof that's very unstable. It actually flew off earlier and injured us, but we survived. So we're not going to follow him, but I mean, what a drive, really. Been very lucky. Rowan, I am sure will have all the luck tomorrow. I am sure of it. I don't even know what I'm going to look for now. I'm just glad that I know the cubs are in the den. I know Mareeb's is back on Chitwa. But the Torchwood Pride, I haven't seen them in a really long time. I had them for an SEBC show and then I don't know if I've seen them since. We don't get to see them too often. They're normally in Torchwood. Yeah, well done everyone. Well done. So now it really is sort of nocturnal time, chameleon time. Let's see what else we can find, since we're on a lucky roll.
Bush baby.
Bush baby, okay. Owen called it. He wants a bush baby. Bush babies are really difficult, but we can try. There's actually a tree on Twin Dams Road. A lot of bush babies. Check it out. Jason, I agree. That's such a great way to put it. Mareeb's was always laughing danger in the face. Just like cat.
leopards are familiar with hyenas and vice versa. He knows exactly what a lion is, what danger it presents. And we're already out the dip, so sorry if you lost our signal there, but we should have us back. And he knew just to freeze. He knew just to stay still. He had cover, and they didn't notice him. The lions did not notice Maurice. He, of course, noticed him. He's a smart cat. There's something on the road here. I don't know if it's just a nightjar. Do you see it, Owen? We're going to have to go into infrared. Hopefully our infrared holds up. I'll direct you. It could just be a nightjar.
Up there.
What is it?
So the little mongoose, what do you call it? Dwarf mongoose. Sure. No, it's not.
Oh, nightjar.
Sure.
Is it a juvenile?
It's quite far.
It looks very small. I don't want that. We're going to stick an eye on. I'm just going to drive a little bit closer with my lights off.
He's flown.
Ah, he's flown. Okay, phew. Nightjars will always get you. Why? Because they are nocturnal. Their eyes are huge. It's really, really, really large, and they have a really bright red eye shine, not too unlike bush babies. Not all animal eye shine reflects the same color, and it will get you immediately because it's so large. You wouldn't expect, a nightjar's eyes to be that large and that red. I don't know what species it was, sorry, it was way too far away from me to identify the species. I actually find nightjars really difficult. We do get different species here, carry-necked, square-tailed, but they're difficult. I can smell the wild basil. That's because it rained this afternoon. Okay, we are leaving Chitwa and we're going to slowly make our way back into Chitwa to see what else we can find.
So we're just trying to show you guys the moon and the sunset. We'll go a little bit back again. That should do it. We finally made it to the cut line as well. But here we are. It's really just been a pretty evening. So I think I've figured out how the game works on Juma now. If it was a nightjar that Lauren found, so whatever I talk about, she'll see. So we're going to keep playing that because it seems to be working. We need to move in about a minute or so. It seems there's a vehicle coming from behind us. Just want to see if it turns off. It actually keeps coming in our direction. What a beautiful evening. There's light clouds around now. Don't think we'll be getting more rain tonight. I'm also actually not going to come up with a plan for tomorrow morning. I think we'll just do whatever we want. I'll listen to the radio a little bit more though. It tends to make a difference. It's also tough though because everything they say on the radio, I'm not really too sure where that is. Majority of the time. Even though I have the map next to me. And I think I've got the hang of majority of the roads in the central part of Djuma. There's still quite a few to learn. I have a good idea how to get to all the watering holes. But now, even if we went to Chitwa and someone said, no, they've got my reaps here on Chitwa, I have zero idea about where that is. But again, that just comes with experience, especially spending a lot of time on the property, which I am doing at this stage. Okay, so that is the beautiful end to our evening. We do need to, however, start going. We have a vehicle coming from behind us. So let me just start up. And there's a big dip in front of us. Get the trusty little spotlight out. There we go. Actually quite a bright spotlight for its size. I'm very impressed. Sorry Rusty, let me take you to gear number 2. My initial plan was to take this cut line all the way to the gate and then from there head back, but I think what I might do is take the next left and then head towards camp. It's dinner time nearly. Let's do it. Please, Sophie.
Sorry about that, you're back with us. We are bumbling home, 100% bumbling home. Just seeing what we can find along the way. You never know, last minute something. But Rowan, don't worry, you will absolutely get there. I have been here a long time. But you should just enjoy driving the property. And I'm sure you'll fall in love with Mr. Mareeves. All the boys love Mareeves, my goodness. And hopefully he's on Chitwa there tomorrow and Rowan can go and meet him. He was moving in a northerly direction, but you never know. It takes time to learn a property, really, it takes time. You can't just race around and follow other vehicles, you've just got to take the time to learn the roads yourself. But what a day, really, what a day. I did not expect to find Kalamba and Cub this morning. I was hoping, but I didn't expect it. And cubs, I guess. We saw the 2 cubs, but separately. And that area was just locked off, which is absolutely fine. Someone will check tomorrow, and I'm sure it'll be open again. But when you've got a scenario of a really young cub and 2 hyenas, it's risky. But the cub was fine, don't worry. We saw it up the tree. We just didn't manage to get it live. Hosanna. 100% Hosanna. Was that yours as well, Owen? I mean, Hosanna was the jam cam pet. He didn't really go far. He was like Mareebs in a way. They're not territorial, so they're utilizing the area. They've got a very small home range, and it's all they know. It's really all they know, and they just move within that. They'll slowly start expanding and slowly start exploring, but it'll be nerve-wracking. I mean, Mareebs just goes Torchwood, Chitwa, back and forth continuously. Hosanna was the same, but Hosanna's route was Gowrie Dam, and Gowrie Dam, and Gowrie Dam. But my first ever sighting here with Jamie Patterson, first ever drive, the first character I met, or characters, sorry, was in Cahomas. What was that?
Just went around the corner of the road.
Really? Okay, I really don't have much time. But let's see. I don't like driving too fast at night. I think it was a hyena one. Most likely. But of course, we are coming to the end of the drive, and just a recap on today for everyone. Kalamba Cub this afternoon, Nsele, Mareebs. It really has been a special day for Team Wendy, that's for sure. Rowan got lucky with lots of elephants. I didn't see one elephant today. No, I haven't seen one single elephant. So of course that always leaves hope for tomorrow. I love sunrise safaris so much. So much promise, so much hope. You never know what you're going to see. So on that note, we absolutely will be out unless there's a torrential downpour. So please do join us tomorrow on the sunrise safari. And until then, have a great night.